Welcome back. The last video we made, we discussed the different types of first aid kits that you might encounter or might want to use in a survival situation. Today, in this video, we're going to talk primarily about this battle belt blowout kit. If you want to know more about that, you can check the video, but the purpose of this video is to kind of go in depth and talk about the components and why we chose the components we chose. One of the things that we didn't cover in the last video was the use of a combat tourniquet. So this kit attaches to a battle belt, but another piece that is part of this kit, and it's a separate pouch, is this combat tourniquet. This has its own pouch in case something happens. This thing is set up to basically be applied to an extremity to control bleeding. Again, the term that my special forces friends like to use is to keep the blood in the bag, right? So that is the purpose of this. If you're in a survival situation, whether it's a deep laceration or an amputation of an extremity, a gunshot wound, doesn't matter what it is, you want to control your bleeding. That's a primary concern. So having a tourniquet is a key thing to have in a blowout kit. And I should put a disclaimer in here. I am not a medical professional. I've had some advanced military training, but use your best judgment when applying these first aid kits and choosing the components. This is just a guide to kind of help you think about what components you want to put in your first aid kit. So let's open this guy up. So we talked about our tourniquet. We have a secondary tourniquet. This is called a rapid application tourniquet. The difference between these, this one has a thicker webbing, whereas this one is maybe 3/8 of an inch thick. The difference is if you apply this, you're going to get less tissue damage when the tourniquet is removed, hopefully by a doctor when you are able to get aid beyond first aid, the EMT, the doctor, whatever it is. This will do less damage. It's just a wider strap. Sometimes though you need a second tourniquet, and this one will really cinch down and stop the bleeding. So that is on top in this kit, because when you open this up, this is probably the thing that's gonna save you fastest, right? So that is a rat. Other things in this kit, we have gauze. It is also on top, and we have a muslin compressed bandage. So again, with bleeding control, you want to have extra material if you're going to pack a wound. Say you have a laceration on your forearm, you can take this, you can put the gauze here, take the muslin bandage, wrap it around, and create a compression bandage to help put pressure on that bleeding to control that. So again, this kit is about controlling bleeding, controlling extremities. That's what we're here for. This is Vaseline. This is for gauze if needed. We also have Quick Clot. Combat gauze. This has a powder embedded in the bandage, and what it does is it basically cauterizes the wound. This will stop bleeding quickly. The problem with this gauze is that when you go to take it out, it will cauterize your skin, and this can cause damage when you pull it out. However, if the primary goal here is to control bleeding, so that is why we have this. We can worry about later issues, removing this later on. The point is that this is in here to control bleeding so that you keep the blood in the bag. So these are all bleeding control components. They're rapidly accessible. This is a small kit. They're put in here. You can see that this half of the kit is really kind of focuses on bleeding. The rat was here just to pull out if we need it. On this side, we have three components with kind of two purposes. So this is a nasopharyngeal tube. If there's an obstruction, something happens to you and you have a blockage, and you can't breathe, you can insert this down in your nose and open up that airway. Again, You shouldn't use these without medical training and without knowing what you're doing. But if you're going to carry a kit, this is one of the things that you want to carry in a blowout kit, as well as getting the training, proper training on these things. And then these two components here work together. This is a Hyfin chest seal, and these are, we call them needle Ds, needle decompressions. So if there is a sucking chest wound where an obstruction enters your thoracic cavity, causes causes the positive pressure on your lungs, you can use these. You could put this seal on first, close out the wound, and then you can use these. These are basically one-way valves that you insert into the chest cavity. It's just a needle. You pop this top off, you insert it in the chest cavity, and it functions as a one-way valve. These things tend to get gummed up. That's why there's two. This is for one sucking chest wound. Depending on how long it takes to get first aid, beyond first aid care, to get to the doctor, wait for the EMTs, paramedics, et cetera. Sometimes these valves will get jammed up with blood and other thoracic cavity goo. So that's why there's two. 3 is better, but I have 2 in this one. So these are the essentials of a blowout kit. Again, it's very Spartan. It's designed to control bleeding. It's designed to keep you breathing if you need to, using chest seals, decompression needles, and then these. Again, just as a disclaimer, prior to using this stuff, you really ought to consider getting medical training just so you know how to use this stuff. Thanks for watching. We're going to move on to the MyFAK, the MyMedic MyFAK kit and explain the components in that. Thank you.